she's interviewed, it sounds like similar talking points that we've heard over the years. So, yeah.
Okay, fabulous. Well, I'll connect you up with Jules. I'll email today and give Jules a call too. So that's exciting. Well, hi everybody. It looks like we're all here. So Eric had a conflict and was not able to join us, but everybody else is with us today. So okay, hi Kristen. Good to see your face. Okay.
I'm cold, so I don't have a whole lot of a voice. So I'm here.
Oh gosh.
I look terrible, but I'm here, and I sound terrible, but that's all good.
Thank you for being here. My family got wiped out with COVID over Christmas. I got hit with COVID Christmas Day, and we're about there, but recovering. So I'm sorry. I get it.
Had COVID before Christmas. Thought I had recovered. Then got this stuff. So we're all good though.
Oh my gosh. Well, hopefully you recover quickly and get your voice back too. So, oh my gosh, guys, watch it. Lots of bugs out there. So, okay. Well, why don't we do roll call? Mike, would you like to do that?
Sure, I'll be happy to.
Thank you.
Melissa Van Hook.
Melissa Van Hook, Chair of the Employment Committee in the Council.
Monica Cooper.
Excuse me. Monica Cooper, Chair of the Grants Committee, Council Member, Self Advocate.
Thank you. Kristen Mackey.
Kristen Mackey, VR Administrator.
Thank you, Kristen. JJ Rico.
Hi, everyone. JJ, CEO for Disability Rights Arizona and Vice Chair for the Council.
Thank you, JJ. Nathan Pullen.
I'm Nathan Pullen, ATI Program Director and Committee Member.
Thank you, Nathan. Jason.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jason Steen. I'm the Research and Communication Specialist with the Council.
Thank you, Jason. And I'm Mike Leyva with the Council, staff for Meaningful Careers Committee. We're going to go ahead and record this meeting. So, Jason, if you could go ahead and record. And
yeah, I got it. You're good.
Thank you. And Jason and Nathan and I are on the same vibe today with our colors. So good job, guys.
Yeah.
I like it. We didn't send the memo to the rest of you. All right. Love it. Okay, agenda item B, please. Our review of our April 2nd, 2024 committee meeting minutes. Yes, it's been a hot minute since we've met here. Guys, I hope you've had a chance to review those minutes. Are there any corrections or comments that need to be made? Okay, hearing none, is there anything? All right, hearing none, I'm going to call for a motion to approve the minutes as written for April 2nd, 2024 for our Meaningful Careers Committee. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Monica. Do I have a second?
I'll second, Nathan.
Thank you, Nathan. Okay. Oh, wait, does it have to? It can't be because Nathan's not a voting member.
Yeah, sorry, Nathan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Don't apologize.
JJ second then.
Thank you, JJ. All right. All those in favor of approval, please say aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. Anyone not voting? Okay. We know Nathan has to abstain. Nathan, well, I know you can't vote on things. We absolutely value your input as we discuss stuff like what we're going to talk about on our agenda today. Anything coming up, we want to hear what you have to say. That's why you're here, okay? Just so you know, like we want to hear your opinion on what y'all are doing up north. So thank you so much. Okay. Motion carries. Agenda item C, leadership development and training proposal with the scope of work. I'm excited about this. Mike, this is all you, buddy.
Okay, thank you. So at our April 2nd, 2024 meeting, I proposed that we have a national speaker help coordinate our webinars. And so I suggested Alan Bergman as that person. And so I did some research and I was able to have many, many conversations with Alan. And the conversation resulted in a proposal. Since Alan Bergman is not a vendor on state contract, that requires us to go to the Department of Economic Security procurement to request a sole source contract to be able to utilize the services. So what I shared with you is the proposal that I would like to submit to DES procurement, and hopefully they will review it and approve it. Of course, today during our meeting, we're gonna discuss this. And if you have any comments, concerns, questions, whatever, we will certainly incorporate them into this document. Now, once this is submitted to procurement, by the way, this is my first time working with procurement on a sole source. So I guess Kristen's probably saying, good luck, Mike.
Kind of. Actually, I was going to offer that. I mean, it's not a bad first shot, right? Try it that way. Just be prepared that what they'll probably come back with is there's many contractors on state contracts that can give leadership development training. And so you're either going to have to prove that they can't do what you're asking for, or you can ask Ellen to subcontract with somebody that is on state contract. So then that adds a little bit of price, right? Because the pass through is going to want their little slice of the pie too. But that's kind of how I've been able to sometimes get procurement to get me who I want to do the training for the thing I want, by saying find subcontract with somebody else that is on contract. I think, you know, sole sources is a fine first pass, but just be kind of prepared that I think they'll probably push back and say there's other people that can do this.
I appreciate that, Kristen. Thank you. Yeah, I've been in contact with Wendy Wilda through Business and Finance, and Wendy Wilda offered some suggestions, and she said to prepare a proposal, a document, and then also attach a procurement assistance form, and then submit it through the service portal. So that's what I will do. So thank you again, Kristen, for sharing that. Jason, are we recording this? Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to.
That's okay.
And do everything else.
Okay, so I'm not going to read this word for word, but I'm just going to highlight some things that I want to call your attention to. So the contract date, hopefully I'll submit this by the end of the week, but we're hoping that they'll review it and hoping that they will allow us to move forward. So if they do, I would like the contract to begin February 15th, 2025 and end September 30th, 2025. When we last met, and I proposed bringing in someone like Alan Bergman, I appreciate the comments that were shared. JJ said that he wanted to know what the hosting capacity was if ADDPC has a bandwidth to be able to support the webinars. And that's why I have Jason here. Jason is our communications and research specialist. Jason has done an incredible job helping with our previous webinars. He has served as the facilitator coordinator. And according to Jason, we do have the bandwidth to be able to coordinate and conduct these webinars. JJ also said that he wants to make sure that the webinar series focuses on the needs of our state. So I did share those comments with Alan Bergman as we were putting this together. Kristen Mackey said that she confirmed the need to keep it Arizona-centric and to focus on our policies and where we are. She supports the idea of having nationally recognized presenters to share what other states have done, because we may be behind and moving in that direction. And the presentations may stir and spur our stakeholders to support what we do. So I did incorporate that, Kristen, as I was talking to Alan. And then when we met last April, I know it's been a long time, I apologize, but we'll get to a better meeting schedule and meet more frequently. John Myers raised a really good point And I'm going to have to read this because I want to make sure that it captures what he said. And actually, John, we were talking about the Center for the Future of Arizona report and what we were going to do with that. But what John said really applies to the webinar series and how it morphed from just a webinar series to a leadership development and training and webinar. So John said that many times we are trying to educate families, parents, other caregivers at the same time we are asking for their input. We are not turning parents and students into advocates for themselves and to advocate for what they're looking for. In the Meaningful Careers work, we're trying to get people to take advantage of programs that exist, and we're trying to give them opportunities, but we're not turning them into advocates for themselves or advocates for people with disabilities. So much of the disability work is about advocacy and self-advocacy. Why isn't it a major component of what we're doing in the employment arena? And I'm so glad you shared that. And so I took that, and as I was talking to Alan about delivering this webinar series, I wanted to add more to it. And I told Alan that I want to make sure that this is really not about education, but about training and about recruiting people to advocate for themselves and for their families. So that's how this morphed into more leadership development and training. Are there any questions so far?
This is Kristen. All right. When you talk about leadership development, it's leadership development and training for families. Is that
Yes.
kind of the okay?
Yes.
All And so I don't know if it's worth just clarifying that a little bit in title wise, because they may think it's leadership development for state staff or for large programs, right?
Okay.
Versus family members, advocates, that kind of thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good point, Kristen. I was going to suggest that. Mike, my question on this would be, because Alan has done similar stuff with other councils, right? Doing the same type of things. What has the feedback been for what we're looking for, right? So have their results shown that they've got people advocating more, or, you know, what type of feedback do we have to support that in prior trainings with him?
Well, I do have letters of support from 5 different councils that have worked with Alan, and in the justification that I included, I know it's kind of broad and high level, but he's worked in 44 different states. He has worked for over 36 years in partners in policymaking. He has trained over 82,000 individuals working with over 400 organizations. I don't have specific examples, Melissa, of that question of what you're asking for, but I do have letters of support from different councils, from the Illinois Council, from the Connecticut Council, from Minnesota, and also from Biggs and Associates, which is a nationally recognized supported customized employment firm in Georgia. So, and Alan himself has 2 children, one daughter who has a disability, and another daughter a stepdaughter who has a disability, which I learned during our conversations. And Alan is a very strong proponent of employment first, of competitive integrated employment. And his stepdaughter he shared with me, she has transitioned from being in a sheltered environment to having competitive employment. So this is something that Alan lives and breathes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't dispute that he's probably the best qualified to do it. And I'm excited. I'm just thinking about if you need any more, I don't know, ammunition or support, you know, to push why he is the best guy for this and what we're looking for training families in leadership. If there's any specific data that they need or examples from, you know, what they've seen for outcomes for other councils, it's just helpful, or past trainings from him. If there's anything if you need it, that would be super helpful.
Okay, I'll reach out to him and request that.
Okay,
Thank you,
Okay.
Melissa.
you're welcome.
This is Monica. I just want to make sure. So are these geared toward individuals or families? Some of the presentations that you're recommending, it almost looks like part of them are for families and part are for individuals.
Well, I think Kristen asked that question first, and I said families, but it's also individuals. We want to make sure that
Okay.
individuals participate, and they do become self-advocates, and then the family members become advocates for their children. So it's individuals and families, Monica.
Okay.
And it's
Okay,
not
it just-
for state staff. It's really for that audience.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because it's just by the name of some of the presentations. I just wanted to make sure because you had asked me if I would participate, and I just wanted to make sure that I'm not participating in something that's geared more towards families.
No, we absolutely want your participation, Monica,
Okay.
because we want you to be a self-advocate. We want you to have this education, the training, so that
Okay.
you'll be able to help us if the need arises, if we need to go to the legislature, if there's
Okay.
a bill that's being introduced that you can testify on behalf and support of that bill.
That's fine. No. I'm still going to participate. I didn't mean that I wasn't. I was just looking at it and I wanted to make sure.
Okay. Thank you, Monica.
Yeah.
Okay, so during the past 12 years, Alan has provided consultation, training, and technical assistance in 38 states. So it's 44 total, but just in the past 12 years, he's provided consultation to 38 states. And in that proposal, North Carolina is included twice, so I'll make sure that I remove that reference to North Carolina. And JJ wanted to know specifically what we're going to ask Mr. Bergman to do. And so what we're going to ask him to do is to assist ADDPC and our partners with content and program development, recruit and secure national subject matter experts to present information, conduct and facilitate 2 in-person all-day leadership development sessions for self-advocates and family members, coordinate, facilitate, and moderate 3 webinars, coordinate payment, document and provide accounting for subject matter experts, participation and presentation, secure webinar presentations and materials for distribution, follow up with self-advocates and family members on specific requests for information and assistance, create evaluation survey forms, meet with ADDPC staff to review survey data, outputs, and outcomes, prepare a monthly report and other feedback from the previous webinar in order to establish a process of continuous quality improvement for subsequent sessions, prepare a written report, and conduct a virtual presentation of leadership development and training outcome to the full council of ADDPC. So those are specifically what we are asking him to do. And again, the intent of the leadership development training and webinar series is to develop a competent statewide network of passionate trained leaders and advocates committed to making competitive employment capacity building and systems change a priority. So that's embedded in everything that we are asking him to do. We're also participants chosen for the leadership development and training must attend and participate in both in-person sessions and all 6 virtual sessions and complete any homework assignments to receive the certificate of leadership enrollment. And we said that we would limit that to 30 people, but if we have more than 30, we're absolutely going to be able to accommodate them. And what I plan to do is I plan to reach out to Diversability Incorporated, Achieve Arizona, and Care for the Caregivers and share what we're wanting to do and ask them if they can help identify people individuals to participate in this program. I also was able to secure additional funding, which is really indirect, because the council is not able, since we're federally funded, we're prohibited from providing food and beverages. So what I did is I reached out to United Healthcare and I asked if they would be able to help with providing food and beverages. And so I received a commitment from United Healthcare to provide that. So they're going to pass money through Care for the Caregivers to be able to provide the food and beverages. We also have, we're restricted for paying for venues unless you're a state contract. So I reached out again to another partner, Care for the Caregivers, and I was able to secure the Legacy Foundation's meeting room, which is on Coronado, I believe. Yeah, Coronado and 3rd Street. And so they're going to be able to host the 2 in-person sessions. So that's really indicative of the support that we have already. And of course, I want to recognize them as sponsors and partners that help us with this. I also plan to reach out to our DD network partners, which includes the Sonoran Center for Excellence in Disabilities, the Institute for Human Development, Disability Rights Arizona, and I guess ourselves, to have this a DD network project so that all of those partners can help promote this. So it's really a collaborative effort.
Mike, I was wondering if you want to also, I think you did mention Silk, AZ Silk. So that might be also another mechanism to share the information for advocacy and who might be good to attend.
Thank you. Thank you, Kristen. So
What about Arizona? I think it's SELF. I forget what it stands for down in Tempe.
which organization is that, Monica?
That SELF, is that advocacy group?
Yeah, it's Achieve Arizona
Yeah. Oh, is that the same one?
with Ryan Berry that's coordinating it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I plan to reach out to them to help recruit participants.
Okay.
But thank you for that suggestion, Monica. I appreciate it.
Actually, it's
All right.
Arizona Achieve, but
I'm sorry, Jason?
actually, it's Arizona Achieve.
Oh, Arizona Chief. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what we plan to do, if we're allowed to move forward with this, is we'll kick off the leadership development training with an in-person session on Saturday, March the 29th. And that session will have content and activities to begin to build relationships among the participants and define the key characteristics of leadership. The content will provide background information from the studies completed by the Institute on Community Inclusion and the Center for the Future of Arizona, followed by an overview of current federal laws, regulations, guidance, and policy documents. And so Alan is suggesting that we have Jean Windsor be the key presenter for that. She'll share information on the power of disability employment and also touch on the VR study. And we'll also cover the Center for the Future of Arizona communities at the center. So that's going to help kick it off, and that's going to be coordinated by Alan. And again, that's an all-day session on Saturday. And then the second in-person session will be at the end of the webinars, and that will be held on Saturday, September the 6th. And it will be putting all the pieces together, which is really to bring all the individuals that participated and recap and have them break out into small groups, identify what was most important to them, and engage them to be self-advocates. After the first session, in-person session, then we plan to have the webinars. and the schedule of the webinars are included. So there's going to be 6 of them. And the first will be May 3rd, 2025. And that will be Charting a Life course, an evidence-based practice endorsed by the Administration for Community Living and Person-Centered Thinking and Person-Centered Planning. I don't know if you want me to read all of the details for the presenters, but the information is there. The second one will be May the 31st. That will be transition from school to adult life of post-secondary education, competitive integrated employment, integrated community living, and belonging. That's a long title, I know. The third will be held June 14th, and that's the basics of supported decision-making. It's your choice. The fourth will be the role of assistive technology and devices in school, employment, and community living. The fifth will be building meaningful lives with an integrated, meaningful day in the community. And the sixth will be customized employment with Fidelity. And for that one, Kristen, we're hoping that we would be able to have RSA present, as well as Sonora and you said, on the customized employment project.
Yep, we can do that.
Are there any questions about the 6 webinars? Okay. The next item in the proposal is the budget. And so it includes an in-kind match, and it includes all of the activities that Alan Bergman will be responsible for, and all the activities that the council will be responsible for. The council is taking on a lot of responsibility. So for example, we're going to be hosting the platform. We're going to be registering individuals, doing follow-up. We're going to be sending out materials. We're going to be tracking the individuals that participate. So we're going to be responsible for securing ASL and CART interpreters. So there's a lot of responsibility that is going to be incumbent on the council to provide. And then here's listed what Alan Bergman is going to be responsible for. On the last page, or the next to last page, it includes the fees that he has come up with. So the fees paid for the subject matter experts is $9,600. The charges for Alan Bergman to communicate with potential presenters by phone to coordinate is $9,000. The charges for Alan Bergman to present the 2 in-person is $3,900. The next item are estimated travel costs, which is $2,500. There are charges for Alan to present and facilitate each of the 6 webinars, $3,960, for a total of $28,960. And then the indirect cost match is $1,030. And so the grand total is $29,990.98. So originally the amount was much higher, and there were more webinars that Alan had proposed. I asked him to reduce the number of webinars and to reduce the cost to bring it at this figure. The webinars, we decided that because a lot of families and individuals may be working, that instead of having the webinars on a weekday, we decided to move the webinars to a Saturday. So they'll be Saturday morning for 3.5 hours. So that will enable more individuals to be able to listen to the webinars and participate. And of course, everything that everything that is presented is going to be archived for later playback.
Is Alan given the in-kind?
Pardon?
Who's providing the match requirement?
Well, Alan is, as well as the subject matter expert. So if they charge, for example, $1,600, they're going to ask for an in-kind match and they're going to reduce it. And so the amount that they'll receive will be $1,200. So that's part of the in-kind match. So that's built into it.
Okay. Do you see any major hurdles, Mike, other than that he's not a contractor for the state? Were there any other hurdles that you see?
I again, I haven't worked with procurement, so
Okay.
I'm sure that once this is submitted, they're going to ask for additional information. So I'll provide the information. At this point, I think that what Kristen said is really good. Is who is the training for? Is it for state employees or is it for advocates and families, self-advocates and families? So I think that's important to stress.
Okay. And I know you don't know what you don't know right now, so it's okay. So, all right. Well, I'm excited to see what happens.
Mhm.
I think we all are.
And once I
Yeah.
submit this to procurement, it may change. I don't know if it's going to change drastically, but the only thing I anticipate, Melissa, is they're going to ask for more information. And so I'm going to have to be prepared to be able to respond to that. And I've also let Alan know that this is something that we're requesting. It's not a sure thing. Whatever additional information he needs to provide, he said that he would provide it. I think Alan has a really good track record working in 44 different states. I think is pretty incredible. Personally, I don't know any other individuals that have that kind of, there might be other individuals, but I listened to the North Carolina webinars. I was really impressed with the way that the webinars are presented, who presented them, the follow-up, the way that Alan facilitated the discussion during the webinar, answered questions. He's a very capable individual who I believe can do a really good job for the council and for Arizona.
Well, I trust you. I'm sure you did your homework, right? I think we all do. So, yay. You know me and the whole procurement process, I always get a little frustrated because I know that we have to flow our money through somebody, but I'm like, it's our money. We should be able to spend it any way we want. But I get that we have rules we have to follow. So I just take a few deep breaths. Right?
Yes.
Mhm.
And Kristen, if you don't mind, if I get stuck on something, can I reach out to you and say, hey, Kristen, they're asking me for this. What are your suggestions? What are your thoughts?
Sure. Yeah. I try to push back wherever I can. So
Okay.
yeah, no problem. And did you say you're submitting it to Wendy Wilda, or who in OP are you submitting it to?
Wendy Wilda identified a person that I would be working with. Sanjay, I think is the name.
Yep.
So once you get the proposal together, and then you attach the procurement assistance form, you enter it through the service portal, and then there will be a person that will be identified to work with you. Kristen, in the past, how long did the process take if you had to go through Salesforce?
To be completely honest, anywhere from 3 months to a year and a half.
Oh my
Like,
God.
I know sometimes it just is bonkers the amount of time it takes. So it really depends on which team you get associated with. So
Wow. JJ, go ahead.
Yeah, quick question, and again, maybe the numbers wasn't paying attention. What's the total amount that we're needing to pay? Because after hearing what Kirsten said about the timing, how much money is it again?
It's $29,990.98, JJ.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess from me as a council member, but also as the CEO of Disability Rights Arizona, I think this is valuable employment training. So if there's some hiccups in getting the sole source, I guess let me know or have John reach out to me and maybe we can figure something out, because I do think it's valuable. And again, you all as staff are contributing a lot. And so maybe there's a way we can contribute to help in case the sole source is becoming overly difficult or too slow to get this done timely.
Thank you, JJ.
Thank you,
Got
JJ and Kristen. Thank
Yes.
you.
Sometimes there's, when in JJ talking about that, there's sometimes, well, not sometimes, $25,000 or less typically has a less, like a critical threshold. And then the next one's like, 50, and then it goes up to 100. So they may come back to you and say, like, is there a way to finagle some of the dollars to get it under 25,000 to make it faster? So that sometimes maybe just be a heads up. I wouldn't offer that to start, but it may be a question to pursue if they're saying you have to do X, Y, and Z.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. Because I was going to ask you, in your past experience, what it would have been the ranges for the projects that you submitted and the dollar amount.
Yeah, it kind of does depend on what procurement avenue we want to try to take. And so $100,000 for sure. We got to keep things under that. But then the other one is the $25,000 threshold. There seems to be less scrutiny under 25. So that might be something to consider as well.
Yeah, originally it was almost $40,000, and I said that's too much. That's too many webinars. Let's reduce it. Let's get it under $30,000. Do your best to see how you can make that work. And so he did that.
So this is JJ again. So Mike, if that 25 is brought up, give me a call or have John give me a call and let me know. And if we can help get it under that threshold amount to then get it as a sole source, I think that's something we'd be open to. So just have that in the back of your mind if you hear them throwing out those numbers and need some assistance to get under 25.
Okay. Thank you, JJ.
Thank you. Hope you won't need it, but thank you.
Yep.
Are there any, I've taken notes and this is recorded, but are there any suggestions or that you would offer that I incorporate into what we have right now? I mean, other than adding that it is specifically for families and individuals, not for state employees, but anything else that?
I'm sorry, do you guys want me to stop sharing now, or is it the screen share?
You can keep it up, Jason. That's fine.
I was just curious.
Because I don't need it, but I don't. We're good there. Mike, I don't.
Kristen,
Go ahead,
when
Mike.
you submitted a proposal or request for sole source, did the format that you used, the template, was it similar to this or drastically different?
No, I typically provide a justification in the way that you have. So there's a little extra information here, but I don't think it's harmful. Just usually the justification and then the dollar amounts is what we submit. And they do want to see what the deliverables are. What are you asking people to provide to you? So I think that's helpful. I was just reading your justification template again. Under sole source procurement. I'll noodle on it a little bit to see if there's anything from a language perspective that I think, if we maybe insert might be additionally helpful. But I think you've done a good job of covering, what he does and how he does it.
Yeah, if you could provide any language or just additional justification you think that will help with this request, absolutely, we would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mike, thank you for all this work that you've put in. I know it's been a long time coming and a lot. of work, a lot of juggling, a lot of finagling, a lot of how the heck am I going to pull this off? So thank you. And impressive. Got under the budget by just under $10 of that 30,000. Nice.
Yeah.
For the low price of $29.95. Nice. So, is there any further discussion, suggestions, questions for Mike? If there's not,
all I can say is I hope it goes through.
Thank you,
Well,
Monica.
Yeah.
me too. Me too. Mike, are you ready for me to call for
Yes.
a vote? Okay, make sure I get this right on here. Okay. So let me put our budget down here, our exact budget, $29,990.98, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I am asking for a motion to approve the proposal, leadership development and training for systems change in Arizona for the amount of $29,990.98. Do I have a motion?
This
So
is Kristen.
moved. Go ahead, Kristen. I'll let you.
This is Kristen. I move that we approve the approval for the leadership development and training for system change in Arizona.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Monica. All those in favor of approval, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say nay. Is anyone besides Nathan abstaining? Okay, thank you
Hey,
so much. What?
Yeah, just one quick question or comment, Mike. Now that we have the committee has approved it, that might be something to add into the justification that the council has reviewed and approved. So additional, I think we want to try to make the council look and feel as independent from DES as possible.
Okay.
So if you want to say that, additional oversight was looked and approved.
Good point. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Mike, will this go to full council for a vote later this month?
I believe I have to talk to John, but I think it has to go to executive and then full council.
Okay, that would all be in the next couple
Mhm.
weeks. Okay, so it'll go
Yeah.
to executive, then full council. And you're submitting this, when are you submitting this? Or have you already?
It has not been submitted. I'll wait a day or two for Kristen to see if she can provide anything. And then,
Okay.
I'll submit it by the end of the week, to procurement.
Okay, by the 10th, okay. And you can, we anticipate that it will pass through executive committee and full council.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep,
Yeah, I'd like to get the process started. I think it would be beneficial.
yes. Well, I agree. Okay. Yay, okay. Well, we are done with agenda item C. Thanks again, guys. So agenda item D, our call to the public. I don't note any public on here. Nathan is as close as we got, but you're considered family right here. Nathan, do you have any input or anything you want to say on any of this?
I think I'm good. I love the idea and the project. Just best of luck getting through the procurement process. I know what that's like.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've run Nathan and his team through the ringer for our procurement processes too.
God.
I think I'm thinking about this more. I'm concerned that this is you're wanting Alan to do some of the work, but you're also asking Alan to coordinate other experts. So you're not saying that he in and of himself is the sole expert. You're saying he has the connections I just feel like they're going to push, right? Just to be prepared, I think they're going to say you're going to need to use a state contract because state contractors can pull all these people together for you. You already have who's listed there. You know what you're going to pay them. You know what you're going to ask them to do. You just need somebody to pay them and coordinate it. And there is a statewide contract for conference coordination and that kind of thing. So that isn't necessarily a bad thing. I've done that with a couple of mine as well, where I just need somebody to help me pay for things and get that structure set up. And they just add that subcontracting fee on top. So it does add a cost, but it's typically not terrible. So, and I can give you the names of some statewide contractor folks that we've used who are on state contract. If
Okay,
it comes to that, I can give you the names of who I know works well
Okay.
and who I would say avoid also. So
okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Kristen.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, so no call to the public. I know we don't have announcements on here. JJ shared that Channel 15 is doing a new story and investigation on sub-minimum wage and people moving out of it successfully. Am I missing anything, Jason? JJ, sorry.
Yeah, not sure. They didn't call it an investigation, so I would just say right now,
Story.
I just know talking to the reporter that they're asking about the 14C certificate. What is it? They did mention speaking with some parents and then referencing STARS, as being a 14C certificate holder. So, but I think if you're able to connect me with the person you were mentioning, I think it would really round out the story, because from at least the reporter saying that the parents were worried their children wouldn't have a place to go anymore. And we've been hearing that for years, but so it'd be nice to yeah. So please connect me with your resource, because I think that would be good for the reporter to talk to. So thank you.
Okay, you are so welcome.
JJ,
will
was
do that.
the report, was it ABC 15 in Phoenix or?
Yeah,
the
in Phoenix.
contact you?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, because I have a person that worked for Beacon who was in center-based employment and has transitioned to competitive integrated
Yeah.
employment. I can see if I can put that person in contact with you.
That would be great. Yeah, because right now, like I said, they just spoke with the parents of that have children who they fear are going to lose. But I really want to show that people can successfully transition over. This transition period, or at least in the proposed rule, is 3 years. So my comments to the reporter, that's more than enough time for these 14C certificate holders to get used to, or I guess transition and make appropriate adjustments and make sure that folks are retained and employed.
Okay, I'll reach out to my contact at Beacon and see how I can help get that individual over to you.
That would be great. Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Awesome. All right, guys. Okay, is there anything else? If you guys haven't seen it, I was going to say in February, the College Autism Network, CAN, they're doing a 2-day conference at Mesa Community College. The first day is for families and individuals that are either in college or mostly college bound, and the second day is for all professionals. So that is a very reasonable conference. I'm presenting at that. So is Carla Phillips on that. So I know that the council was going to send out those flyers as well. If you have families or professionals that might want to attend. Yes, sir. JJ, go right ahead.
So you reminded me of something. So we'll have our virtual African American conference in February. More details to come, but this year we will not be charging for that. So look forward to as many people joining us as possible. So just kind of keep your eyes open, but we'll send it to you all at the council and everywhere else. So please advertise it widely.
Okay.
We will. Absolutely.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for attending today. Mike, if you can hang on for just a second so we
Okay.
can maybe connect our schedules. Thank you guys so very much. Get healthy, stay healthy if you're not sick yet. Okay. Bye.
Everyone,
Michael, as it gets closer, can you coordinate with John to get the documents and the code for the next, for the executive?
yes, I will.